All right, so what I'm working on here is doing a test run of this first wall. The predicament that I have is normally I would just take all of the siding off and then frame everything out, with OSB on the outside and house wrap it, then put the siding back on. But the trouble is when they built this, they have all of these other boards that are attached to the outside. So the siding isn't really attached to the frame of the building. It's got this other stuff here instead. And it's not like there's just the boards in the middle like we got there and here and here. It's all the way across the top and everything. So to take all of this off and then frame on these columns like you normally would, I'd have to remove all of this stuff around the whole building because otherwise the dimensions wouldn't line up and the walls would be crooked and everything else. And they're all nailed together. It's just too much work to remove all that. So my plan is to build the frame on the ground, put the footer in first with treated lumber, and then build the frame and attach it on top of the footer. And the trick is going to be to build the frame so that it matches up and fits inside these columns nice and snug, because nothing here is square. All of the wood is irregular. It's different dimensions. I mean, you could even kind of see like a lot of it is, it's just like they really just cut down some trees and made boards right from what they cut. So it'll be a little bit awkward to build the frame on the floor and then just sort of lean it up into place, and to do so with, some silicone around the edges, a nice bead of that to keep everything tight. And also to have the OSB on the other side and house wrap. So each of these walls that I lift up are going to have to be kind of like prefab pieces of walling that you would buy if you're doing a prefab house or something. But that's what I'm going to try. And then you can see on this one here, I'm doing this one first. I got all the insulation, this foam insulation I put up here, and this is just tape for now because when the OSB goes up, it's going to be flat up against here anyways. But there's 1.5 inches of foam insulation here. And then there'll be a good 3.5 inches of batt insulation in between the joists of the framing that goes up. So it should be nice and insulated when it's all said and done. And hopefully that'll help things out in here. So that's where we're at so far. Next step, I got to get some lumber and get this first wall put up, and hopefully it'll fit, and it won't be a nightmare trying to get it into place all by myself, because it's also going to weigh a ton. I don't know how much that's going to weigh. It would be probably a couple 100 pounds possibly with the OSB on the outside, and it's a 10-foot wall. I don't know. We'll find out. Wish me luck.